How's it flying, guys? Lance Corporal Huck 30 here, and welcome to another JONTRON reaction. I'm actually recording this on the day that it was uploaded. First video of the new year from JONTRON. We did not get a Christmas-related one from him this past year, this year that just passed, 2024. But now it's 2025, and we're starting the year off with something I am actually familiar with. Animorphs, the book series. But he's talking about Animorphs, the TV show. Full disclosure, I only ever saw a couple episodes of the TV show, but I read quite a number of the books. Now, I need to make a disclaimer and say that I didn't read all of the books, just for some reason or other, where I lived either in my middle/high school, or, yeah, Animorphs is like young literature, but still, I could find it in my middle school at least. Whether it be middle school or the local library, I just was not able to read every single one. There were quite a number, especially towards the end of the series. I just was not able to read. So there were a couple of storylines that I unfortunately missed out on, but I do recall, generally speaking, you know, when things just really took a dark turn for the heroes, when the bad guys got a hold of the... I forget what it's called. It's been so long since I've read the books, but whatever, the cube thing that gave them their morphing abilities. Yeah, that, I did at least get to that storyline and find out, yeah, things are not so good. But, you know, spoilers if you haven't read it. But, yeah, but I really enjoyed all the characters that were brought to life in there, with Marco being the... I remember it was Marco, that was the jokester, and then there were just a few others. Rachel, I think, was the cousin of their default leader. It's been so long since I've watched it, I can't remember all of their names. But, anyways, he's talking, JONTRON specifically is talking about the TV show. Again, I only ever saw 2 or 3 episodes of that years down the line, and... I remember I watched, for sure, the very first one, and when they first found it, I think it was Axel? Axe. I think it was Axe, is what they called him. Anyway, their alien compatriot. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and stop my yapping, because I need to get into watching JONTRON's video. So, without further ado, links to the original video, as always, will be in the description, so please make sure that you have seen it before you watch my reaction to it. I'm actually kind of fascinated to see what all he's going to talk about, because, again, I did love the book series, the ones I was able to read. Let's go ahead and go.
Literature for the youth, a staple of the American spirit going back decades upon decades. Whether you grew up with the Hardy Boys, Goosebumps, or Captain Underpants, you know the profound effect these classics have.
Goosebumps was the only one I have vague memories of the most. I was aware of Captain Underpants, and I'd heard of the Hardy Boys, never read either of them. I at least read 1 or 2 Goosebumps stories.
On the course of our lives. But one series towers above the rest, one that to this day is still inspiring memes based on its iconic book covers, and that title goes to no other than Animorphs. On the face of it, it's easy to understand why it appealed to so many young readers. I mean, who doesn't want to become a freaking animal? And a cool one. Maybe, depending on which edition you had your hands on at the time.
Yeah, basically how they were able to morph into these different animals, they had to have contact with each of these different animals. So you couldn't turn into a rhino and wreck stuff up unless you were able to physically touch a rhino and kind of get a copy of its DNA and just etc. That was the rule for all of them. You had to have direct physical contact with whatever animal you were wanting to turn into before you could transform into it, which included mosquitoes, which...
I don't know what to tell you. They burn through the good ones quick, I think.
I remember that story. Spoilers if you've never read it. Rachel, turns into a starfish. I can't remember the reason, but then something happens. She basically gets cut in half while she's the starfish. And if you know anything about starfish, they regenerate their lost limb. So when she's split in half, she accidentally gets cloned. She gets split in half personality-wise when she turns back into a human. So there's 2 Rachels running around. One that's the more effeminate, softer, more vulnerable side, and the other that's the full-on tomboy jerk side of things. So she needs to... I can't remember. I think they had her turn into... I can't remember exactly how they resolved it, but either way, at the end of it, there ended up just being one Rachel again.
Mommy, I want to be that squid. Get me the squid one. From boy, we can become boy. Cow to alien. Alien to cow. Who knows? That didn't help either. But what kids initially thought was maybe just zoo books with a slightly better plot, they found was actually some kind of interstellar political drama between blue snail-eyed centaurs and pterodactyl men named Hork-Bajir. The
Hork-Bajir weren't the enemies, but the Hork-Bajir were enslaved, basically, by the actual bad guys who were the Yurts, I think is what they were called. Which were basically mind slugs that went in through your ear and basically wrapped around your brain to control everything you did and said, right? But they have a limit to how long they can be in that brain, because after a certain amount of time, they have to be exposed to, like, their life essence, the life energies or whatever, to keep going.
A little bit of a bait and switch, but, you know. Listen to me, it's about horror, it's about war, it's about imperialism, sanity, morality, innocence, leadership, freedom, family, monkeys, owls, bees. But that said, today we're not focusing necessarily on the books, but the acclaimed television series of the same name. Not focusing necessarily on the books, but the...
Okay, Sean Ashmore. If anybody... Hold on.
Acclaimed...
How do you... I'm frame by framing back so that maybe... Okay. Anybody recognize that face? What did he play later on in the 90s? It's Iceman from the X-Men movies. It's Iceman from the X-Men movies. That's who that is. So he was in this before he was in X-Men. Kind of fitting in a way, if you think about it. He goes from a show where he gets to, because of a technology, he gets to turn himself into animals, to a show where different genetics cause people to have powers. So, some kind of connection there.
The acclaimed television series of the same name. I vaguely remember watching this when I was younger, and I remember liking it, I think, but it's been a really long time since I've seen it, so I figured today we should go down memory lane together and see how this thing holds up. Okay, you know the catchphrase. It's morphin' time!
Okay,
I regret doing that.
My name is Jake.
Jake, that's what it was. I don't recall that sequence at the beginning of each book.
Half an hour ago, I was just a regular kid.
Literally, morphin' time works.
Not anymore. It's amazing how quickly your whole life can change.
Ouch. Where were you when you found out they could still charge for the late pizza? It doesn't get better, but it gets easier, kid.
Aren't you gonna see what's next?
So, of course, this show starts off where every kid's show from the 90s starts off, and that is in the Game Zone! The sort of grown-up McDonald's play place you'd always see on these shows.
Yeah, anybody remember those kiosks that had demos of video games? Oh, those were the days. I was a 90s kid, all right? I was alive when this started. I didn't even realize that it went as long as Xbox 360, but like at McDonald's, I remember the McDonald's in Wasilla, Alaska had a GameCube kiosk, and the demo, and they were just demos, unfortunately. You could not do long-term any game there. It was just demos. Once you got to a certain point, that was it. But you had Kirby Air Riders, and whichever Spyro game first came out on the GameCube. Those were the two I distinct... Oh, and Sonic Heroes. Sonic Heroes was on there as well. Those three games I remembered specifically.
That was never to truly blossom into a real thing. And the story follows a group of teens, Jake, Marco, Cassie, Rachel, a dog, and Tobias, but he's a story for later.
That's not fair. You just got blown away.
Yeah.
Homer, no! Homer!
Homer, no! Don't move the plot forward! See, that's a literary device we can hang on to. Coniteration, we call it. Can't think of anything for your characters to say? Just get the dog to get you out of there. Come on, boy!
Okay, you
to
learn
the next
something
scene!
Come on, boy, let's go!
What's up with him anyways?
I don't know. We gotta get him back.
By the way, that's a great night filter you got in front of the camera there. I couldn't tell that's not nighttime. You filmed that during the day? What? I can't see anything.
This isn't funny.
What's he wanting there?
What's he wanting there? What do you mean, what is he wanting there? Is he not a normal dog with simple dog tastes? You don't think he wants a big corrugated metal sheet to Slice some cat's face off?
Homer!
Let's go,
Homer!
over here. Come on, Homer.
We've looked everywhere. He's not here.
You've looked everywhere. You've been here for like 5 seconds. And let me guess, you didn't even check those towering rusty drums over there because you were afraid of, quote, mercury poisoning. Do you even want to find your dog?
Hi, Tobias.
Hey. Thanks.
Sure. I didn't do anything. I'm not helping you. I might actually...
Yeah, that is not how it happened in the books, I can tell you that. Not how it happened in the books. Like, Tobias is a tragic figure, though, in the books, for more than one reason, which I'll get into in a bit if he doesn't.
be opposed to you. Chances are.
You're new around here, right?
You can't just point. I need to know, why are you in a dark factory with my dog?
Whoa.
Look at that.
Too weird.
Honestly, that did catch my attention. Well, you got me there. But we are coming back to this conversation, mister.
I don't think so.
Understands her. She's right.
What the fuck? You're just gonna keep up your casual conversation during an actual active airship disaster?
Yeah.
Debris just flying all over you and your friends. You're stoic. You're fine. You're not bothered.
At the very bare minimum, you're gonna take cover. It's like you're gonna hide behind something until you stop hearing noises, then poke your head out. Go. Is it over?
Oh, that's a real shame. Yeah, that's going down. So what do we eat for lunch today, guys? Is it empanadas?
Yes, there's nothing casual about that. Realistically, there's nothing casual about that.
There's something coming out.
Oh
It's the
no. It's a horse from space.
What is it?
I don't know, but it's definitely not from my hood.
Where exactly did you think I thought you lived? Is it the Andromeda Cluster? Because that's obviously from space, dude. I know it's not from your neighborhood. First of all, you live in Malibu, dude. Your dad's a celebrity attorney. Shut the fuck up.
Credit where it's due, though. Marco was always the one, even when he was just completely out of his depth and freaking out. Like, I don't know. It was just like, I don't know, but if we hurry, we could, like... yeah, he would usually have some kind of wisecrack at some point. Like, once he kind of got his head wrapped around, oh man, so this is gonna be weird. Okay, who's up for enchiladas after? Or it's like, oh, well, it looks like a taco. Hey, speaking of tacos, something, I don't know.
It looks like it's hurt.
Yeah, so?
So we have to help it.
What if it's, like, radioactive or something?
Oh, please.
Oh, what is this, a 3 Mile Island history lesson? Did I ask for that? Hater, you're a hater. I'm gonna go touch it. I'm gonna get my DNA fragmented. You can stay behind. So at this point, the kids find out that this alien called an Andelite, which is basically one of those blue guys from the cover of the books you might be familiar with. Well, he has crash landed on their planet, and oh, if he doesn't have an info dump for them.
Do not be afraid.
He speaks through telepathy.
Has there ever been less fear after someone has uttered the phrase, "Do not be afraid"? It's never happened.
I mean you no harm.
Where did that come from?
I heard it.
Telepathy.
In my head.
I'm speaking to you in thoughts.
What the fuck? Okay, first of all, if you're speaking to them in thoughts, you know, you could have left out the oh. That's a throat sound, bro, not a thought sound. You do not need to be gutturally moaning around the children.
By the way, if you didn't notice with those books, which you probably did, Andalites don't have mouths. That's why they have to communicate with their thoughts.
He's wounded. We can help you. You're hurt.
Oh yeah, did you notice? Okay, how are you gonna help me, sweetie? You're like 8 years old. I'm an advanced alien life form. And clearly I couldn't even stop myself from getting in this situation. Do you have a med kit?
Do you have a big...
No?
No.
Okay, so stop pretending you could have ever done anything and let me fucking die!
There's nothing you can do for me. I've got...
Bro, you've got to stop. You gotta keep those thoughts in your head. Honestly, they shouldn't even be going through your head at all. Do not come. Do not come.
I've come.
So anyways, at this point, he drops some exposition regarding the overarching plot of the series, which is that the Earth is under attack by an alien slug race called the Yerks.
You must protect yourselves from the Yerks.
The what?
The Yerks. The Yerks are parasites.
Yep.
I like how he's just like, the slug alien race, the one coming behind me, it's not here yet, that's the bad guy. How do I know you're not the bad guy? You're a big, disgusting blue centaur. You do not look like a good guy at all.
I can give you a way to fight Yerks.
Man, this is insane.
There is no time for questions.
I feel like there's gotta at least be some time for question and answer. It's always like there's not enough time. I'll explain later. No, how about you explain now? You've been laying here making guttural sex noises for how long now? You could explain it then. I'd call bullshit.
I must do what I can for you. Each of you must touch one side of the cube.
I'm not touching that. You just conveniently produced this glowing cube. You already know I gotta touch it in a certain way with my friends on each side. It's just not happening.
If you have no choice, touch the cube.
Yeah, rub all 6 faces of that. Yeah, this is innocent. No time to explain. Yeah, I was half expecting the dog's paw to just slide in here as well. I mean, now I'm sad it didn't, to be honest. I want the dog to be part of the team.
It is done. Change is in your flesh.
Change? What kind of change?
You need only to touch a creature to acquire its DNA pattern and change your form.
You mean we can change into animals?
You can become any animal you touch, but remember, you must return to your human form within 2 Earth hours. You will be trapped within that animal form forever.
Plot point right
That
there.
would have been good to know before, because does that mean now I'm a hermit crab forever? I've been hiding from this persistent trout for 3 hours.
Not the trout.
Man, with all this animal-themed content,
Okay.
I gotta say, it's really a jungle out there. You know what else is a jungle? The World Wide Web! It's full of hackers, creeps,
Let me
and worst
guess,
of all,
ExpressVPN
Netflix
or
region locks. Oh, you thought the Great Wall of China was tough?
It's a VPN.
Try watching Shrek in Switzerland. Before long, you'll get frustrated and give up and have to watch reruns of Chuker. And nobody wants that. And that's where the sponsor of today's video, ExpressVPN, comes to save the day. So if you're overseas and you see the dreaded
ExpressVPN.
region lockout, just pick your country, fix your eyes on the big red button, hit it, and now you're surfing first class international. But it's not just about existing in a continental Netflix buffet. It's also about privacy. Without ExpressVPN, you might as well be plastering your search history on a Times Square billboard and going, get a load of this! And
didn't
do
need to
you
say
want
that,
your mom
John.
seeing that, all that? She already doesn't have a very good heart. With ExpressVPN running in the background, all your data is sent through a secure, encrypted tunnel that keeps your private information,
At least
well,
he got halfway.
private.
Almost
ExpressVPN
halfway
is
through the video
stupidly
before
easy to
he pulled
use.
the
I'm
ad.
talking one click and boom, you're safe. So what do you have to lose? Scan this bad boy. It's your golden ticket to 3 free months of ExpressVPN. Or click the link in the description. Or go to expressvpn.com/JONTRON. That's JONTRON. So get ExpressVPN, protect your stuff, and while you're at it, unlock all the good shows. Like Animorphs, which we're getting back into right now on Morphin'.
Yeah, you can morph from one country to another country. They can't do jack squat.
What's happening?
We must go. Your lives are more important than mine. Now go.
Wait, you're actually gonna go? Like, I was just saying that to be magnanimous. You're really gonna leave me? You can all pick me up together.
Tobias. Go against Tobias. With your heart and your soul.
Tobias, come on!
I have to get it.
Really? Dude, according to your own words, that's the most important item in the world, and that's your throw. You didn't even try to get that thing to its target destination.
Prince of Fangor, what an honor it is to be in the presence of a legend.
Visser 3.
Yes, I have taken one of your Andelite bodies as my host.
So anyways,
Yep.
it's a bit confusing, but basically, another blue alien comes out of the ship, but the twist is, this one is evil.
Yep, he's got a yerk in his head. And he has the ability
And a shapeshifter.
to morph his.
You won't succeed, Lenore. There will be others.
Why did he bother coming down in the dude's blue centaur form if he was just gonna immediately transform anyways? Does he just get off on that? He's like, hey bro, before I eat you, I just want you to look at your own abs. You must have put in some work, because you are a hot horse man.
What is that?
Now I'm gonna concur. What is that indeed? What is that? Is that supposed to be the same menacing alien we saw just cast a shadow a second ago? The horns, the beak, it's all very imposing, but the sort of head on a string, bobblehead kind of thing, I don't know.
Yeah. But that is what happened in the book. Alfangor does get eaten right after he tells the kids to leave by Visitor 3, that douchebag.
Kind of taken away from the rest of it. Okay, that is clearly not the same monster from before. Why does he remind me of that clip of Beetlejuice where he's just like standing in his hotel room and he's like, me?
That Beetlejuice.
Nothing. Just prowling around. No, I'm just kidding. I saw you the whole time. I know, I'm terrible. I'm terrible. Come here.
I need your help, Homer.
Homer, nobody likes this, me least of all, but obviously the only way out of this situation is I need to become you. We need to be two separate dogs, or else the situation with the Triceratops out there. Come here, Sparky, I'm gonna need your DNA.
Hey, yeah. I mean, the effects are obviously dated.
The dog seems to have the right idea here. He's just like, dog-made horrors beyond my comprehension. So there we have it, the first Animorph in the series.
Yep.
They did the title. I feel like this morph effect is like simultaneously terrible, but also like kind of good for a 90s kids show, you know what I mean? Not quite Michael Jackson black or white level, but you know, TVY 7 standards,
90s.
Pretty good.
The footprints lead to that pipe.
For 90s TV show, kids show standards.
Did you find them?
No, sir. Just a couple of dogs.
Get those dogs, you fool. They might be Andelites.
So they escape the crash site as dogs, and then for some reason, Jake just goes on a highly paranoid walk through his neighborhood.
My name is
Literally
Jake.
any...
And I like to induce
Literally,
just
it
a
could be
little bit of
anybody.
fear in my neighbors. Not enough for them to divert from what they're doing, but you know, just enough for a little drop in the stomach.
I can't tell you my last name or where I live because the controllers are everywhere.
This dude was just walking to his car from his front door. He's just hanging a quick left. He's like, I gotta move. Goddamn crackheads in this town.
How you doing?
Oh, this is the guy you're fine with. You're like, oh, thank God, finally a normal person. The dude washing his car in a church parking lot with no soap or water, just scratching the paint off his car like a psychopath with a dry sponge. Jake, you're a terrible judge of character. You know that?
There's literally no way to know.
Nice day.
You are the chaos, okay? I don't know what to tell you. You're just beelining up to this lady's baby, mad dogging it, and being like, adequate day, fellow toddler!
I don't know, it could just be the angle.
Now, Jake, hear me out. I think I may have found your problem. I don't think it's that everyone around you has alien slugs in their brain, as much as it is that you're in the part of town where they openly slang coke outside the Kingsway Baptist Church. Like I said, I'm not sure, but that might be a majority of your issue.
Good luck seeing this guy, stupid cops.
So after completing his sneaking mission, Jake returns to an animal preserve where he and his friends have been hanging out, especially Tobias, who, let's just say, has been taking in the view.
You're not gonna go with that joke, are you, John?
Sir, hi there. I just want to let you know we do have other animals at this facility, and you have been staring right at that horse for a socially unacceptable amount of time. Yeah, I will be getting staff. Thank you. Okay.
Hello? That's Tobias. He just moved here.
Oh, he's new. Thank God you mentioned that. I thought he was just a pervert.
Hi, Aisha.
Hi. Hi, Marco.
Hi. It must be cool, you know, living on a preserve.
Well,
Even if it was, I'm not telling you.
That disc that Alfangor tried to give you, do you have any idea where you might have dropped it?
I didn't drop it. I never even touched it.
Had us in the first half. So yes, we find out that the most important item that the alien lobbed at Tobias earlier is indeed the most important item. So the kids set off to double back and find it again.
With all those controllers, we can't exactly sneak back into the plant.
No, but we could go back as animals.
Picture a load of this. Beaver, field grouse, alpaca, rhino, and starfish unite. They will see us coming.
Okay, let me see if I can't remember who, like, because each of these characters have their main animal that they transform into. Rachel, I remember, was a grizzly bear. Jake was a tiger. Marco was, I think, a silverback gorilla. Tobias is a hawk. We'll get into that more at the end of this episode. And Cassie, I can't remember. I can't remember what Cassie was normally. Can't remember.
But they won't know what to do.
Shouldn't we wait for Cassie?
Yeah, what's taking her so long anyway?
She better not flake. Hey!
Who are you calling a flake?
Tobias is like, that was Cassie? You mean this was Cassie the whole time? She had a broken leg. Bless her heart. There was nothing you could have done. Oh, rip Cassie.
Look, I say we forget it, we don't mention it, and we don't mourn. This isn't some dumb video game. We could get killed. My mom's dead.
Dude, chill out. Stick to the script.
No one's asking you to risk your life right now. I mean, learning to morph might be the one thing that's gonna save your life.
All right. But I get to choose which animal.
Yep, fair enough. But yeah, that is the thing in the books. His mom is dead. Although, it's a 90s book series, so it's not gonna hurt much for me to spoil it, and nobody's read it yet. His mom ends up being one of the controllers. Literally, his mom is being controlled by Visor 1, who's like the true head of the Earth invasion. So, it's unfortunate, but that's where his mom's at in this series to begin with.
That was already established. You could, yeah. Go on then.
Maybe one of these. I always wanted a rat.
The rat, yeah, the one you can get for $2 at Petco, yeah.
What? Am I a rat?
I'd say you were a rat man.
I can't do it.
It's his attitude. I can't go the whole way. I can't do it. I can feel him smirking at me now. Get that fucking grin off your face, Toby!
We're gonna start all the way.
Marco, are you in control?
The wheel is in control now, Jake. The man is unburdened by thought. Only and forever. The wheel!
The wheel!
Right. We've all done it.
Hold on. Tobias hasn't.
I forgot about Tobias. Sorry, Tobias.
Yeah, he went that way with a smirk and a box of nitrile gloves. You gotta go now.
Tobias! Hey, Tobias!
What could he have gone?
Dude, we can't take you anywhere. What are you doing behind that tree? Anyways, now it's time for the final fight.
Yeah, I did not like the interpretation of Tobias in the episode or two I saw, because they had him just be like too whatever that is, when really he was a very laid-back guy and a regular in the group. So
now you would think with all that setup with the aliens and the parasites and the Mighty Morphin Animal Rangers, something more interesting would happen, but no, the dog just digs like a good boy. The cat just stands there menacingly, but at least Marco brings out his boombox and plays Scatman John for everybody, so it could be worse. But of course, Tobias has to do this and ruin it by becoming that, by doing this. God damn it, man, why can't you just be normal? That's it. After seeing that showing, clearly I gotta take matters into my own hands. I'm touching the cube.
Oh, really? What are you becoming, John? Are you gonna becoming
I fucked up. I fucked up, man. Oh no, I fucked up big time.
Gee.
No.
That's disturbing. That's disturbing. Alright. Anyways, further spoilers since it didn't get mentioned. Tobias is the only one of the group that ends up getting stuck. Like, literally at the end of the very first book, he is stuck as a red-tailed hawk for the rest of the series. He does later get the opportunity to get new morphing powers again, but he's still stuck as a hawk. So, yeah. But, yeah. Like, they tried an actual raid with their, morphed forms to go against, like, the main base or whatever. And then it's discovered also in the first book that Jake's brother is a controller. Like, controller being what they called the people being controlled by Yerks. Jake's brother is a controller. So they, like, the book series actually gets into some really deep conspiratorial stuff. It's nuts how specific they go into certain things. But, yeah. The show, on the other hand, not so much. I mean, I can't remember if it was the following episode or two after, but some episodes in, they find Elfangor's brother at the who's stuck at the bottom of the ocean in his own spacecraft that, like, has its own ecosystem or whatever. I don't know. Whereas, I can't remember how they swung it in the show, but I remember seeing that one episode and stuff. But it was, yeah, this not on the same quality. The Animorphs TV show is not on the same quality as the books. But John's lampooning of the TV show, literally, all he talked about was the first episode, and already that gives you a pretty good idea of how awkward it was. Also, another detail about them morphing, yeah, they can't just morph and expect to keep their clothes. Obviously, they had to change that rule for the show, but in the books, the only way they're able to get around morphing with any kind of clothes for when they turn back into human is just to wear skin-tight latex. I'm not joking, they just wear skin-tight latex bodysuits, and that's the only way they have clothes whenever they morph back into human, because regular clothes don't morph with them. That's so disturbing to see. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up here. This brought back some nostalgia. It's been a long time since I've read any of the books. You know, but maybe sometime in the future I'll get all of the books and just read them in order so that I could finally know how the story actually ends. But yeah, they're all short books. Like, there would be times I couldn't read. I read one in like 2 hours. They're pretty short. So, anyways, this is going to do it for this reaction here. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like if you enjoyed. Comment what your favorite part of John's video was, or my reaction. Subscribe if you're new, and tap the bell to get notified whenever I upload videos so you don't miss any reactions, gameplay, or otherwise from me. Also, go check out my Discord. Link is in the description. Come join me. We'll talk. Post memes, songs, videos, artwork. You can self-promote your own stuff and just have some fun. This has been Langus Block 30, signing off.